Hello Rustians, this is Shylor here, and this is the first video of my cave base and how terrible it is. As you can see here, I did attempt a second entrance to the cave where you could enter through the back way or you could go through the front way. So I was just trying to give more options here, but it seemed like raiders at the time decided to come in through this way, and it was sort of planned that way because I had plans for the future to make it harder to get through this entrance. So for now I've made it appealing to break in this way, but what's behind those doors, walls, is just more bear traps and armored doors, so not much fun to be had in there. So that's the point of entry from obvious looking at it. That's where you'd go. The front is armored, so it kind of puts you off, and it's right next to a rad zone, so pretty high price real estate. Pretty good spot, I reckon. So I can do all these rad runs and oh hello, it's Mr. Fluffy. He won't mind. He'll wake up in a better place. Plus, we could use his fats and stuff. It's all for a greater cause. So, I do my rad runs and run it back to home, run it back to base. And it is a bit annoying to jump inside because it is a bit high. You can't always make it. But sometimes you do. And so we've got a series of doors here. Seems to be a typical base, airlock, whatever you call it. Behind this door we have a sort of like a look down position where you can shoot down upon from an elevated position at the incoming intruders if they're coming through the front door. So it's a pretty nifty feature. However, in a previous base with this kind of interior defense, I've actually killed quite a few people by hiding right where I'm standing here and shooting up at the invaders that broke in through the top window. So it's worked in the reverse for me. Down here we've got a crazy situation where I guess you could say it's a bit of a Laverne and Shirley situation for the doors. It's interesting. In this one we've got our little sleeping bag and cupboard, tool cupboard. So that's secured over there. We eventually come down to, this is a failed stairwell. Yes, it was a bit difficult to sort out. I was using ladders to get up there, but was experimenting with jumping about, and so far that's what I've been doing, except I can't always make the jump. It's annoying. I'm looking to improve it in the next cave. So this is the upstairs area. This is where you prepare yourself for the intruders and you go blam 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 blam. Just take them out like that. No worries, except they seem to break through. They aim for this side, seems to be more popular. But there's a honeycomb situation going on with the walls in there, so they can't really, they're not going to get far if they blast through one. And there's several segments where, if you look closely, you'll see there's bear traps here. There's several segments and lots of bear traps all filled in there, so if anyone breaks in through there, they're not going to be happy. So this is your primary defense point, and this is where you'd stand during a raid if you're going to wait it out. So let's head downstairs. Down here is a temporary furnace room until I work out a nice design where I want to have them. So pretty much this is where they go to build up what I've got. The template, basic template structure. Yes, it is a bit weird looking. There's a reason for that, because I did get raided and the people that broke in, they actually walled off this whole thing and pretty much prevented me from coming back into the base. It was a dirty tactic, but I eventually broke in, climbed through my window, killed them. They, before I built all this here, they had a little tiny armoured hut down in the corner where they secured it with a door lock code and their own tool cabinet. So they pretty much prevented me from building anything, and it was a headache. I spent a good few hours breaking that down, claiming my cave back, and I was glad I did. It was a relief to continue working on my cave that was rightfully mine. So since then I've been trying to build what you call maybe a safe room. So this was going to be like the main heart, the guts of the base, where all the valuables would be stored and everything really. Some eventually would move the furnaces in here somewhere. Everything would run from here, and everything else in front, all the other doors would just be, I guess you could say, a blockade to get to here, make things more difficult. This is all temporary. There was some stairs here running up, but Rust being Rust has its crazy physics and sphere checks, whatever that is. Sometimes you can build stuff, sometimes you can't. Like, it's just random when it lets you build things. So for example, it wouldn't let me build these two pieces here, but eventually it did, and I didn't make any differences. So if I go to build there, it won't let me, but it did earlier. And by putting in simple shapes, see, it lets me build now. Now not there though, but it's very random. Sometimes you just walk away, come back, and it starts working again. So that's sometimes one thing to try, but it's very janky in that you place one thing, something could crumble and bring down a lot of other stuff with it. So it's very it's very picky and random. The first time I built down here, we could use square foundations. Second time it wouldn't let me do that. I had to use triangles. The third time I could only fit one foundation, and that is what I'm at now. This whole thing is supported by one foundation, possibly two triangle foundations actually. And I'm amazed I could build so much out of two foundations. So this is the result of two foundation triangles, and it is quite big but troublesome. I couldn't build walls where I wanted them. Originally I did, but the Mr. Sphere Checker came off his break and decided no, I can't do what I want to do anymore. See, that doesn't work. I would have loved to have blocked that off. Earlier I could fill in that little area down there with the wall, but now it's not. It is very random, and I'm hoping to improve it in the next base. For now, underneath the main area, I've got the chests here, which is pretty much all everything I need. I'm all stocked up. All good to go. So my next base, next cave, on the next server wipe, I'm hoping to improve upon this, and yeah, each time I'm learning something new and it's getting better all the time. So that pretty much concludes this entry of cave bases with Shylor, and I'm hoping to improve upon this rustified perfection. Alrighty, Shylor out. See you next time.